Hey everyone, Justin Trudeau, Canada's Feminist Dic Tator. You like my little potato reference there? Dic Tator? Isn't that punny? Well, he's out once again showing the Canadian people that, yeah, sure, I made all kinds of promises. Yeah, I was going to legalize weed. Oh, you're going to have some real freedoms there, Canada. It's like, how's that worked out for you? just read through, the introduction of all the legislation and all the added, criminal punishments and increased sentences and authoritarian measures that they're undertaking to legalize weed. You'll see that was a completely bullshit, false premise and promise. That was. You're not getting any freedom. Matter of fact, you're getting more restrictions, right? But in addition to that, the other major thing that, garnered him any kind of support or traction was the whole pretense of, oh, I'm all about electoral reform. Oh, we're going to change Canada's electoral system. This will be the last election that's done through the first past the post. Actually, no, what am I saying? He wouldn't have been. This will be the last election Canada ever has with first past the post. Sorry, I messed that one up too. Take 3. This will be the last election that Canada has first, what is it again? Oh, first past the post election system. Under my liberal regime, I mean party, will be more expansive and inclusive to the Canadian people. Yeah. Once again, you're seeing how that is actually panned out, right? You're paying attention, aren't you? Yeah, that's, once again, another broken promise. But just for a little further iteration, a little further evidence to that fact, to that reality, let's pivot to this article from Miss Robin Urbach, opinion piece out of CBC News. We can still have electoral reform as long as it's the Liberals' choice of electoral reform. Robin Urbach. If Trudeau hasn't made cynics out of his supporters yet, surely this one should do the trick, you would think. But apparently his shiny hair and his virtue signaling trumps anything that has to do with actual truth, reality, or policy. When Henry Ford unveiled his brand new Model T at the turn of the 20th century, he knew that any customer could have a car painted in any color they wanted, so long as it's black. A reader reminded me of that quote after I took to Twitter to share what might be Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's first honest explanation of why he abandoned his promise last year to enact electoral reform. As it stands, the promise is still dead. Or, to use the language of the Liberal mandate tracker, it is still not being pursued. But in an interview with CBC Radio's The House this week, Trudeau suggested he'd consider reviving the discussion if pushed by other parties, and on one condition. I will not move towards any form of proportional representation, he said. But if people want to talk about a different system that might benefit Canadians, like a preferable ballot, I'd be open to that. In other words, Canadians can have any type of electoral reform they want, so long as it is a ranked ballot system. So we still got to get preferential. Hey, we still can't allow, we can't have Kelly Leach having her own party now, can we? Right? Remember that one? Of course, they don't want libertarians or genuine, real conservatives, not progressive conservatives, not Harper conservatives, not crony conservatives, not loser fucking, oh, I'm scared of any controversy, politically correct conservatives like Scheer. What a fucking guy that is. Like I say, yeah, good job there, conservatives. Yeah, you picked a real fucking winner for a leader there. Yeah. What, a little baby-faced fucking pussy that's scared of his own shadow. Yeah. Good job there, fucking conservatives. But yeah, you wanted to fucking throw Bernie at the back of the bus. Meanwhile, this is the guy that really, if you had chose him, well, of course, that would have meant you had some character, some conviction, and it would actually principled. So we all know why Bernier didn't actually win, because you're all a bunch of fucking pussies, all right? In reality, you're all just, listen, it's hard to discern the difference nowadays. It's like 3 parties of just a bunch of fucking cowards, pussies, wimps, inept fucking morons, economically illiterate dipshits. Like I say, it's like, what does Canada have? Well, you have the Libertarian Party of Canada, folks, and I want to tell you, And this is something I'm going to be pivoting towards. Like I say, I usually try to avoid the political stuff, right? I'll talk about the political stuff, but I don't support politics in any way. I more or less like to make fun of the fact that these are a bunch of dipshits that pretend there's such thing as, oh, look, we have authority. Oh, look, we're like your authority. We're your masters. I don't believe in any of that bullshit. Never have. Or actually, no, when I was younger, I did. Sorry. Correction. But, I guess once my nuts dropped and I actually took some time to actually dig into some of this stuff, so like, oh, no, this is all bullshit. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm not a subject, I'm not a servant, I'm not a slave. So, yeah, I don't believe in masters or rulers. Yeah. Ooh, shocking revelation there, huh? But a lot of Canadians do, and I understand that. Still want to play those games. So if you got to delve into the political game, it's like, don't you at least, doesn't, even if you work, politics, your spouse, don't you want someone that's at least competent, strong, ambitious, intelligent, right? And leads by example? The modern day politics that we see from all these establishment parties, it's all just, they're all just, well, in the US they call it two wings of the same bird, right? Two sides of the same coin. Well, in Canada we have three sides of a coin for something, because we're all fucked up here apparently, right? Because, we just can't have two kinds of progressives. We gotta have three different flavors of progressivism, of collectivism. So it seems like we're given more of a choice, but it's just three different flavors of the same pile of shit. You want it brown, dark brown, or really dark brown? But I mean, think about it. Any genuine electoral reform, if you're going to give, the bulk of the Canadian population, what is it now, up to 25, 26, maybe even 27 million because of this mass influx of immigrants in the country. So you might have, 27, roughly around that, million Canadians that are eligible to be voters. And as we all know, on average, you're only looking at about 14 or 15 million of them that actually turn out to vote. And then when you break that all down to how many people actually vote for the parties, you end up with a very minority government, even though they claim majority. Well, it's a majority out of, the shit that you got to pick from, but as far as the population, it's still actually a minority. You're ruled over by minorities, but they want to keep it that way. If you had proportional representation, well, then you would at least have, like I say, you'd have the chance, the opportunity to have, you might even have a communist party or a socialist party, which, hey, as much as I can't stand these dipshits, they should be allowed to have a say. They live in this fucking country too. Of course, I don't think many people would pay much attention to them. So it's like, yeah, let them in, right? Let them play over in the corner over there if they want. But hey, let them in. Don't be rude. But once again, what they're scared of, it's not the socialists, because they're just, or communists, because they're all like buddy. It's like, no. Don't create your own party. Just vote for us, because we're all the same, right? What they're truly scared of, what liberal is truly fearful of, and so are the conservatives and the NDP, is libertarians, independents, critical thinkers, people that don't fall for their bullshit rhetoric, their lies, and aren't beholden to any of the establishment political parties. What they're truly saying is, we're scared the fucking death if we give Canadians the option and the possibility that they can put actual people outside of our established parties in positions where they can challenge us on the floor of the House of Commons or in the Senate. Oh, no, we can't have none of that. No. We're scared of competition. We don't want anyone to actually challenge us. We love having scripted narratives. We love having the capacity to enforce or impose our ideas and have the media go along with us. None of this bullshit where we actually have counter or alternative opinions or narratives. Oh, no. We can't have that, because if we allow that, well, then it's game over for us. Basically, that's what they're admitting. They know it would be game over if we actually had some actual proportional representation. If all Canadians truly had their voices heard and could go out and vote and make that a reality. Like I said, even me, and I'm not a big fan of the political process, but even myself, damn straight I would support something like that. If I could support the Libertarian Party of Canada and they could actually gain some traction, and through proportional representation, that could happen. Under the first past the post, supporting the Libertarian Party of Canada, as much as I love some of you guys out there, and I really do, I appreciate, and I have mad respect for a lot of you. I'm a pragmatist when it comes to that shit, but it's never going to happen under the first past the post system, folks. Don't ever, disband or disassemble the party, because you never know what's going to happen in the future. But I'm sure you pretty much recognize and acknowledge that it's an insurmountable task at this point. But hey, let's keep working on it. Let's keep pressuring them. Let us Canadians start to push back and say, no, we want to have our voices heard. And we're going to make that a reality whether you like it or not. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.